Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today some Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and another episode of Dear Nero, which of course is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in fan mail and or fan questions and I do my best to go and answer them. Another week, another Dear Nero. We have a number of great questions this week, so hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, enjoy some nice Black Ops 3 gameplay as we go over the questions for this week's episode. The first question is going to be coming in from Fisher on Twitter, who's going to write, Dear Nero, do you think the face-off playlist or the game mode multi-team will return to Call of Duty's multiplayer? If you guys weren't aware, the face-off playlist was a playlist in Modern Warfare 3 where essentially you were playing on these smaller maps and they put out a number of maps that were specifically designed to be played on this playlist. And I think the numbers were, what was it? It was either 2v2 or 3v3 depending on the place that you would go to, and you would just face these other people on these very small maps. It never really took off. Some people loved it, right? Don't get me wrong. Some people loved that playlist, but ultimately it was a very underplayed playlist. You could tell because there was a player count in that game and there just wasn't a lot of people actually playing it. It never really took off. Therefore, they really haven't added anything like it to Call of Duty ever since. Although in Black Ops 2, we did see multi-team, which was a very fun game mode in my own personal opinion. I played a ton of multi-team. I think chances are a lot of you guys weren't around on my channel back in Black Ops 2 because that was several years ago, but I did play a lot of multi-team. I posted a lot of multi-team videos. If you guys know what multi-team was, it was a 3v3v3 playlist, essentially. So you would play objective game modes, or sometimes team deathmatch, but usually people would like vote that away and they would try to play the objective game modes like hardpoint and stuff, where it would be, you know, 3 teams of 3 essentially. There'd be you and 2 friends versus 3 other people versus 3 other people, and there would essentially be 9 people total in the lobby, 3 of them on your side, and you guys would play. Now, it was most fun for game modes like Kill Confirmed and Hardpoint. It was very fun. One of the things about that game mode, though, was the matches were either incredibly easy or incredibly competitive. There was really no in-between for us when we played, so it was either we were facing complete nooblets on the other teams, and we just ran through and had so much fun. Like, I posted a video of me getting a nuclear in Black Ops 2 with no perks and no attachments. I essentially was running around with a naked gun until I ran out of ammo and had to pick up a new gun, and that gun did have attachments, admittedly, but I ran around with naked weapons, no perks, and I got a nuclear, and I just got so many great gameplays in that playlist because it was so easy, because the people in there were either, you know, once again, really terrible or really good, where occasionally you'd get another party of 3 that were just as good as like my friends and I, and the matches would be super competitive and super fun. So it was a great playlist regardless. I loved it. It was either super competitive or super fun. Either or, I was having a blast, and so I would like to see that return sometime in the future. I think it would be very fun, but for whatever reason they haven't brought it here into Black Ops 3. Who knows what they're going to be doing with DLC in the future. I don't anticipate them adding in multi-team to Black Ops 3, although I would like it. But yeah, I wonder why they decided to take it out. I wonder if it's just because it was underplayed. Maybe a lot of people didn't play it. Maybe they figured that the maps weren't going to work out as well. Maybe the maps are too small and chaotic for 3v3v3, which admittedly that's true. I mean, the Black Ops 3 maps are admittedly smaller than Black Ops 2, so I don't know. I like both of those playlists. The face-off playlist less so, but they're both pretty good, and I would like to see them both return to COD, although I don't really anticipate them doing so, because last time we saw them was several years ago. The next question is going to be coming in from the same person, Fisher, who's going to be writing this time on YouTube, who writes, Dear Nero, how many subscribers did you have when you started YouTube as a full-time job? Fisher from Washington. So we got the same guy twice in a row, but 2 different platforms he used to submit his questions. Very sneaky, sir. Very, very sneaky. When did I decide to go pro on YouTube? It wasn't actually too long after I got my channel partnered. So to lay down a timeline, I made my channel in July of 2011, and my channel ended up getting partnered with Machinima in January of 2012. So it wasn't that much longer after I made my channel that I ended up getting partnered with Machinima. The reason why I ended up getting partnered all the way back in 2012 is even though my subscriber count was pretty low, I had 1,000, maybe 2,000 subscribers at the time, which wasn't bad, but I was really taking off with Modern Warfare 3. A lot of the videos I was posting for Modern Warfare 3 were gathering a lot of attention on YouTube, and even though I only had, 2,000 subscribers at the time, I was averaging about 1 million views a month, which was really good, obviously, for a channel that size. I'm sure there's some of you guys out there who are around that size of 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers, and can you imagine getting 1 or maybe 2 million views in a single month? I was doing that consistently because a lot of my videos were seemingly to blow up, and so once I got partnered with Machinima, I realized that, and this is a very old contract, I'm not going to say the exact details of, what I was earning and whatnot, but I was earning just about the same or more than what I was at my current job, which was working at Walmart. So I think my first 2 paychecks were like $1,000 or something like that. Like my first 2 were each just barely over $1,000, which that's before taxes, keep in mind, but still, that was more than I was making at Walmart, and I was doing it from YouTube. And I thought that was really cool, and I thought to myself, like, holy crap, if I'm making more money doing this than I am at Walmart, why don't I just put all my eggs in one basket here, which usually is a bad idea in life, and go at this full time, try to do the best I can, and try to devote even more time to making YouTube videos and hopefully see where it takes me. And I made that decision, and here I am. So if you're ever wondering, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that have your own YouTube channels, when maybe you should go quote-unquote pro with your YouTube channel, when you should start going at full time and dedicate the majority of your day to your YouTube channel, you should probably do it when you're earning more than what you'd be earning somewhere else. If you're somebody who's working minimum wage job, even if you're working full time, once you start earning more from YouTube than you would working at your job, then maybe that's the time you might want to take your YouTube channel a little bit more seriously. It's that's what I end up doing, but I definitely can't recommend that for everybody, because there's some people out there who have already promising jobs. Like they may be at the bottom tier, but they have a lot of room to grow within their business or within their company. I'm not saying that people should drop out of their job or do anything like that. I'm just saying that's what I decided to do, because I was earning more than I was at Walmart anyway, and I wanted to make a run at it because it was a Walmart job. It wasn't going to be my entire future or anything like that. It was just me unloading trucks and stuff like that to try and earn some money. That's what I was doing, and I decided I would rather do YouTube, and I've kind of been going at it ever since. So that's my story. It got better and better, I suppose. I mean, obviously those first 2 paychecks were like the first best ones for a while. There was a stretch there of about, I want to say, maybe 14 or 15 months where I was barely earning more than what I was earning at Walmart working part-time minimum wage. So my YouTube channel wasn't blowing up by any stretch of the imagination. Like I had a really good boom there at the very beginning of Modern Warfare 3, but then it kind of plateaued off, and it was looking bad there for a while. I was like, you know what, this is almost pretty bad. I might have to stop doing YouTube full time. I have to go back and re-enter the workforce and stuff. But luckily, my channel kind of rebounded with the next Call of Duty game, and in May of 2013, I got a new contract, which is better than the last one. So as my channel was continuing to grow, I started earning even more. And then March of 2014, I got another new contract, which is the one I'm still under, which was even better than the last one. And so it's gotten better for me year after year after year. And it's one of those things where consistency and patience, and I guess those are the two big factors with a YouTube channel: consistency and patience. I see so many people that talk about their channels like, oh, my channel's not growing, I'm trying so hard. And a lot of these people, they're not even writing tags for their videos, they're not making thumbnails for their videos, they're not putting really any effort into their stuff, and they're barely making videos as is. While admittedly, this past week has been kind of hectic for me because it's been so weird. I guess it's Dear Nero, so I have all the time in the world to explain stuff. This past week, my friend Cypher and I have been playing Black Ops 3. And we've been playing it so much that we're playing till like freaking 6 in the morning every freaking day, which has wrecked my sleep schedule. It started when we had the double XP, double weapon XP weekend. We started playing then, and just ever since then, my sleep schedule has been completely wrecked to the point where I'm staying up till 6 or 7 in the morning playing Black Ops 3, going to sleep, waking up at 2 in the afternoon. It's like, I hate this. There's no sunshine in my life. I wake up, I start working on YouTube stuff, and by the time I'm done, it's nighttime out. I get some food, and I go back to playing COD and stuff. It's just like, it's soul crushing at times. I want to go outside. I want to enjoy some sunshine and stuff. It's been terrible as of these past couple of days, and as a result, this past week or so, I haven't been uploading nearly as many videos. Now, it's okay occasionally to go on those streaks where you don't upload as often as you usually do, because I'm still uploading about 50 videos every single month between my channel here, NerosCinema, and my other channel, Nero's Let's Plays. About 50 videos a month, and that's a lot of videos. I don't think a lot of people can comprehend that, especially when on Nero's Let's Plays. Like, every video is over half an hour long on that channel. Like, it's pretty insane the amount of content I put out, and part of that is due to the fact that I'm doing this full time. I can dedicate essentially all of my time to this because it's what I do. So that's my advice for those of you guys out there who have YouTube channels and maybe wondering when you should go pro, when you should really go at it. I would say once you start earning more from your channel than you would at a minimum wage job somewhere, then you can probably really safely make a go at it. But to each his own, and every situation is going to be different. Don't take that as universal advice. That's just what happened to me, and it may work for you as well. We will have to see. The next question is going to be coming in from Michael from Music City, who's going to write, Dear Nero, do you think that the pursuit of dark matter affects your play style and ability to win games? I think going for dark matter will be fun, but I also enjoy my win-loss ratio. Michael, you have no idea. Oh my goodness. So, like I mentioned, the past week or so, I've been playing Black Ops 3 like 6 hours a night with my friend Cypher, and it's been a lot of fun, really. It does. It takes me back to the old times. You know, it takes me back to the old days where my friends and I would always be on every night playing Call of Duty. The past couple of years haven't been like that, and I've talked about it before. You get older. You know, I'm 24, and the people I play with are all roughly around the same age, and, you know, so everyone I play with is usually over the age of 18, and we all have jobs they have all jobs in the real world, and, you know, they're going to school, starting families, things like that. Just people grow apart. People don't have as much time to dedicate to, you know, playing Call of Duty 6 hours a night like they did back when they were in high school. That's just the very nature of it. So rarely do I actually get to play with people, and rarely do I get to like binge play and stuff like we used to. But over the past week, my friend Cypher has decided he really wants dark matter camo, and so we've been playing, and I've been going for it as well. Essentially, we're just doing challenges together, and it's been a lot of fun. But at the same time, whew, guys, skill-based matchmaking in this game. Now, there is skill-based matchmaking in Black Ops 3. Don't deny that, all right? It's definitely in the game, but it's not the same way that it was in Advanced Warfare. In Fast Works, I've talked about it a number of times. The way skill-based matchmaking works in Black Ops 3, which is about the same as just about every other Call of Duty, with the exception of Advanced Warfare, is they're going to connect everybody to your lobby based upon connection. They're going to try and make it so everybody in your lobby has a good connection. You're all pinged up to the same server and so forth. And then once everybody's actually in the lobby, they then will divide the team up based upon skill. Now, how they determine skill, we really don't know. A lot of it has to do with your kill death ratio, your win-loss ratio, your score per minute, all that stuff, right? All of your stats. They're going to try and make it so the good players are matched up with bad players, essentially. So someone like me, and it's almost like a humble brag, and whatever, you guys watch my gameplay, I'm typically the top score per minute person in every one of my lobbies. There's rarely a time where somebody is higher score per minute than me, especially in the game modes I play. When I'm playing Ground War, which consists of Safeguard, TDM, or Domination, or if I'm playing 66 Dom, 66 Skill Confirmed, any of that stuff, typically I'm the highest score per minute person in the lobby. That's just how it is. And as a result, I can look every single lobby. I can check the lobby leaderboard, and I'll look at the people at the bottom of that lobby leaderboard for score per minute in that game mode, and 90% of the time, the majority of those people are going to be put on my team. That's just how it happens. Like, I can call it out. Like, when I'm playing with my friend Cypher, I literally call out the people who are going to be on our team because they have the lowest score per minute in the lobby. And Cypher, who's also a very good player, he's usually, if I'm usually first, he's usually second, maybe third in score per minute in every single lobby that we're in. So because we have such high score per minutes in every game mode, they typically put low score per minute people on our team to kind of compensate, right? So the other team is full of average players, then our team has 2 above average players and 3 below average players or something like that, right? And as a result, it's very difficult because the game kind of expects you to carry. And this is something a lot of YouTubers complain about. The game expects you to carry if you have good stats because they put the worst players on your team. And so if I'm using Diamond Assault Rifles, fine. That was no trouble. It really wasn't. I could still do my thing with Diamond Assault or working for Assault Rifles and submachine guns. I could do that. It's when I start having to use sniper rifles, when I'm starting to have to use pistols and stuff like that, I can't do as good as I would typically do. Like just the other night, I lost a game of Safeguard where I had 90 kills. The next person on my team had 30. I was like, I can't carry harder than this with these weapons. You know, I'm doing the best that I can. I need you guys to help. You know, it's because I'm using this sniper rifle. I'm running around with a Locust, for crying out loud, trying to get long shots and 5 kill streaks and stuff. And just my teammates are the same teammates they've always been, which is typically useless. And as a result, I started losing a ton of games. It was seriously so frustrating and not fun because the moment I pull out a sniper, I'm still, you know, up there in the top 3, but I'm, you know, barely going even, sometimes a little bit positive with these sniper rifles. And yeah, it was no fun whatsoever. So if you're thinking of going for dark matter, but if you maybe were in the same situation that I described, where you feel as though you really have to carry the majority of your games, then you may have difficulty once you get to some of the more obscure weapons. Now, again, assault rifles, simple. You can do, that's fine. Submachine guns, light machine guns, that's all great. Even shotguns to some extent, that's fine. But it's when I have to use snipers, pistols, or a knife, when I have to do those things, I don't do nearly as good. And just, again, the way the skill-based matchmaking system works is my team is going to have a bunch of people with low score per minute on my team. And since I am, like, handicapping myself severely by having to use a sniper, I mean, it's not as if snipers are unusable. It's just I'm terrible with them. I fully admit that. I'm awful with snipers. Now, I like the Draken. Draken's been a lot of fun. But like bullet action snipers in this game, I'm terrible with them, man. I'm so bad. And so as a result, I can't do very well. And then as a result, the game, which has an inherent flaw in that it expects people with high score per minute to carry, I can't carry while using a sniper. Therefore, my team was getting blown out every single game that I was using a sniper. And guys, I gotta say, that was not a lot of fun. So that is my one gripe so far with dark matter, is if you don't have a party to kind of back you up, expect to lose some games. That's just what's going to have to happen. You expect to lose some games. You're not going to be doing as great as you typically would because you're going to have to use some weapons that are going to take you out of your comfort zone, which is when I talked about my Dark Matter camo video where I talked about how one camo changed the COD community. It's actually a pretty good thing. I think it's good that the game is taking us out of our comfort zone. It's making us experience everything in the game. I know what it's like to have to suffer through trying to get 5 kill streaks with a locust. So for some of you guys, maybe that's easy. For me, it was not. It was awful. It was terrible. I hated every second of it. And I'm working on the Draken now. And I'm almost done with all the one-hit kills. I like the Draken, surprisingly, especially in ground war. The Draken's a lot of fun, man. It just, you get one-shot kills to the head, and you can spam it because it's semi-automatic. It looks really cool. It's fun. A lot of people recommend like going with the Elo sight to turn that gun into an assault rifle. No, sir. I like the sniper scope on it, man. It's been a lot of fun using the Draken. Plus, I got the MR6 secondary as my pistol as my secondary. I'm having a lot of fun with that thing. I'm up to like 50 headshots or something with that, just because if I'm in a situation where maybe I can't spray and pray with the Draken, maybe I know there's going to be someone coming up close, I just whip out that pistol. It's so much fun, guys. I just go on rampages with that thing sometimes. It's so powerful. So I feel as though the pistols are going to be relatively easy, just time-consuming. That's the thing. I don't always get headshots when I'm using a pistol. So it's probably just going to be time-consuming getting headshots with a pistol, and I assume the 5 kill streaks. The 5 kill streaks are really the difficult thing. You wouldn't think that they would be, but a 5 kill streak when you're actually really trying for a 5 kill streak is hard. If you're just playing the game naturally, not even thinking about it, you'll go on 5 kill streaks all the time. I mean, I'm sure all of us do. But when we're actually thinking about it, it's like, no, this is awful. I remember trying to get down to assault rifles. I could not put together a 5 kill streak with the ICR to save my life. I just couldn't. It was so frustrating. I needed one more 5 kill streak to earn diamond. And I just couldn't do it. It was awful. And yeah, I guess I mentioned that before. I think a lot of people agreed. It's when you're thinking about it that you just kind of like you overthink it, you overanalyze things, and then suddenly you die off it, and you get so frustrated because you're like you were so close. It's like whenever you're that close to completing a challenge, you kind of tense up, and it's all you can think about, and it's fun, man. Dark Matter is fun. So that, Michael from the Music City, is what my experience going for Dark Matter has been like so far. Don't think that every single game is like I described with snipers. Not every game is like, oh, you have to carry so ridiculously hard or otherwise your team's going to lose. It's not always like that, although it is like that occasionally. And it's really not fun when that happens. You are going to have a number of losses while going for Dark Matter. That's the very nature of it. You're not going to be as big of a key player for your team while running around with a knife as compared to if you were using an M8A7 or something like that, right? It's going to happen. You're going to be running around with a pistol, and you just have to accept the fact that you're not going to be doing as well as you would if you were using a normal gun. That's just something that's going to happen if you're going for Dark Matter. But ultimately, it's a very fun way to play the game, having constant challenges to try and complete, and it feels rewarding every time you finish off another weapon. It's like, yeah, I just did that. You know, I recently finished off the Haymaker, getting headshots with a shotgun. That was not fun. Once I was done with it, it was like, yeah, this is done. I did the Haymaker. I got some really cool clips with it as well. And now the only shotgun I have left is the Brecci or Bresci, however you want to pronounce it. And that gun's just a freaking monster, and I'm having a ton of fun with that. And then once I get done with that, bam, I have diamond shotguns. It's rewarding having that constant state of progression. So I definitely recommend going for Dark Matter if you guys haven't already. There's going to be a lot of highs, there's going to be a lot of lows, but ultimately it's been a lot of fun. The next question, just like the first two, we're also going to be coming from a repeat guest who's going to be Michael from Music City, who's going to write, Dear Nero, what is your favorite non-essential part of your gaming/YouTube setup? This is going to be a quick question with a quick answer. Second monitor. If you guys don't have a second monitor, it's freaking amazing. I love having 2 monitors hooked up to my computer. It's so awesome. I can't even tell you guys. It's not essential whatsoever. Not whatsoever. You don't need to have a second monitor. You can get along with just one monitor just fine all the time, right? You can. But having a second monitor is great. Some people say a third monitor is great. I don't know. I could fit a third monitor on this desk, but I just really don't see a situation where I would actually use a third monitor. Right now, 2 is perfect. I can do whatever it is I'm doing on my main monitor, which I also use for gaming, and I can also have stuff open there on my second monitor. It's great. Having 2 monitors is fantastic. It's not essential whatsoever, but it's definitely like one of my favorite parts about my setup is having 2 monitors to look at. It's freaking awesome. Next question, he's going to write, Dear Nero, due to the implementation of new weapons such as Fury's Song, I was wondering if you think Treyarch will be adding in new shotguns, LMGs, and sniper rifles since there is limited selection between these weapons in those classes. Thanks and keep up the awesome videos. AJ from Erie, Pennsylvania. AJ, I have actually been to Erie, Pennsylvania a number of times in my life. It's because it's the closest place around here that actually has a mall. I live about an hour away from Erie, and your traffic sucks, by the way. So what do I think about them possibly adding in new light machine guns, snipers, and shotguns? It's going to happen. it's going to happen at this point. At this point, I feel as though it's an inevitability. I was talking about this on Twitter actually earlier today. If you guys don't know, Advanced Warfare added in another new weapon into supply drops. They add in the M1 Garand, which is the old school World War II M1 Garand, which is, why did they not add a World War II gun to the game when it was in its prime, when people were actually playing it? Like, I'm not going to go back. It's in supply drops, by the way. You can't even just go like directly buy the weapon. They added in the M1 Garand, classic World War II American rifle, into supply drops for Advanced Warfare. And I mean, how many months away are we out from Advanced Warfare's life cycle? And they're still adding in guns into the game. If there's one thing we've learned last year from Sledgehammer, it's that it's very easy for these development studios to actually make new weapons and just throw them into supply drops. They did it constantly. They kept adding in new weapons, and they're still doing it, even though their game isn't even the newest game anymore. Therefore, their player count has got to have dropped significantly. Sure, there's still people that play Advanced Warfare, but the player count has dropped significantly because the majority of the Call of Duty fan base moves on to the next Call of Duty. They move on to the most current one. Black Ops 3 just happens to be an amazing Call of Duty, at least in my opinion. Therefore, a lot of people are probably playing it. So they have a very small player count over there in Advanced Warfare, but they're still adding in weapons to supply drops because it doesn't take them a lot of time. It doesn't take them a lot of effort. It's just something that's very easy for them to do. And so just going by that, I feel as though Treyarch is going to be adding in a ton of weapons into the supply drops over the course of Black Ops 3's life cycle, because if there's, once again, anything we learned from Sledgehammer, it's pretty easy. You don't have to put in a lot of time and effort. You just throw in these weapons all willy-nilly. And while I hate the idea of weapons being locked behind a slot machine RNG paywall, part of me also likes the idea of new weapons coming to the game in one way or another. It stinks because I would love to have the MX Garand. I really want that gun. I don't have it. The Marshall 16 shotgun pistol. I would love to get that weapon. Again, I don't have it. I've probably opened up several hundred supply drops since I did my supply drop opening video, just because I've been playing Call of Duty 6 hours a night for the past couple of weeks, and I still haven't gotten one of those weapons. It's complete RNG. I feel as though the drop rates are very low. If they were to add in new weapons, and again, I'm very conflicted. Part of me hates that they're adding in weapons to supply drops, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. At the same time that they're adding weapons to the game, I would like to see new shotguns, new light machine guns, new sniper rifles. I've been saying this forever. I would love a double barrel shotgun to re-enter Call of Duty. We haven't had one since, was the Olympia in Black Ops 1 the last one? No, did they have one in Modern Warfare 3? I really can't remember. A double barrel shotgun, a proper bam, bam, you get 2 shots, then you have to reload, put in 2 more shells, you cock it back up, bam, bam, 2 more shots, was the Olympia the last one? I think it might have been. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong. Let me know about that in the comments. But I would love to see a double barrel shotgun re-enter the COD series. I think it'd be cool, especially since this is Treyarch, for them to add in some World War II sniper rifles back into the game. That would be sick, right? A Mosin Nagant, a Springfield, Kar 98K, some of the classic stuff we saw in World at War. That would be cool. In terms of LMGs, do what you want, man. There's a lot of cool LMGs out there. I always use the old school examples, but like old Hitler's Buzzsaw, the MG42, that's a really cool gun. If you guys haven't seen like an MG42 in real life, you should really check. Like, just type in MG42 like on YouTube, and there's a video of a guy cutting down trees with it, essentially, where it's just a bunch of trees set up downrange, and they're using this giant freaking heavy machine gun, and they're just spraying bullets through these trees and knocking them down and stuff like that. They called it Hitler's Buzzsaw back in World War II because the MG42's fire rate was so through the roof that it sounded like a buzzsaw. Like, Allied troops, when they were going against the Germans in World War II, they would hear that machine gun going off, and it just literally sounds like a buzzsaw off in the distance because of how fast the thing shoots. It was a really fun LMG to use in World at War. That'd be a fun gun to bring into the game somehow. Or the Browning, like, that's a really cool LMG. Maybe some of the ones from Black Ops 2, like the QBB LSW. I thought that was a really fun one to use. Like, there's a lot of cool things they could do. There's a lot of great weapons they could add to the game, and we know that it doesn't take a lot of effort for them to do so, so they're probably going to. It's just a matter of time, and I just hope that if they do decide to add weapons to the game, that they find it in their hearts, in their soul, what soul they may have left over there at Activision, to allow us to just directly purchase these weapons as DLC and not lock them behind a slot machine RNG paywall that is the current supply drop system. The next question is going to be coming in from Jessa on Twitter, who's going to write, "Dear Nero, were you ever a picky eater as a kid? P.S. You're my by far favorite YouTuber today." Thank you, Jessa. It's always great to hear that. I'm glad that you enjoy my videos. Was I a picky eater as a kid? Yes. Horribly picky, and I still am today. There was a reason, ladies and gentlemen, that at one point in my life, I was 130 pounds, even though I'm 6'3". And yes, if you look that up, that's probably about 40 pounds underweight. Especially, I think I was like, when I was 18, I think I was about 6'3". I'm still 6'3". I've been 6'3" since, gosh, like 8th grade or something like that. But I was really skinny when I was about 18 years old, maybe 19. I lost a lot of weight. I just wasn't putting on a lot of weight. And part of that was I just never ate. I was never hungry. It got to the point, because that's one of the things about trying to be skinny and like maintaining yourself being skinny, which that wasn't what I was trying to do. It's just kind of a byproduct of just never actually eating, is eventually your stomach just kind of shrinks until eventually you get full very easily. So I would eat, I would eat dinner, I would eat lunch, I would occasionally eat breakfast and stuff, but just I wouldn't be able to eat a lot because my stomach was so small, because it had shrunken over all those years, that I was so skinny. I was so ridiculously skinny. I'm actually up to a healthy weight now. I think I've mentioned it recently. I'm up to about 205 pounds now. I've actually plateaued there. So I'm 24 years old. I'm 6'3", and I'm about 205 pounds now, which is actually a pretty healthy weight. It's like the first time I've been at a healthy weight really in my entire life. And I think a big part of that is I'm becoming less and less picky over the past couple of years. Like, over the past 5 years or so, I've really become less of a picky eater. I've actually gotten to the point where a lot of stuff that I used to eat is boring to me now. One of the examples I give people is, growing up, I would only eat sausage pizza. Like, if we got pizza, the only kind I liked was sausage. Like, if they came with like pepperoni on or stuff, I'd pick off the pepperoni. Like, pepperoni is disgusting to me. I hated if people were to get like a Supreme, like I hated mushrooms. I didn't like when they put onions on there. It's just that the only kind of pizza I liked was either just plain cheese or sausage. That's all I ever had on my pizza ever. Over the past couple of years, I get Supreme pizzas now, because to me, a freaking sausage pizza sounds so boring and tasteless that I can't even imagine. Like, why would people want just a normal sausage pizza? It's so boring. Why not get a Supreme? It's got everything on it. It's amazing, That's just one of the examples I give. It's just, I like food a lot more now. As I'm getting older, I guess my palate has changed a little bit, and things I thought I didn't like growing up, I like a lot more now as an adult, and so definitely I'm eating a lot more, which is great, because I finally got up to a healthy weight. For a while there, I was actually, for whatever reason, gaining weight very rapidly. I think over like 6 months or something, I gained like 60 or 70 pounds. Like, it was absurd. I was like, okay, well, this needs to stop. But I didn't really do anything. I didn't change my diet or anything. It just kind of stopped, and I kind of plateaued at 205 pounds. I've been about 205 pounds for probably 3 months or so. So I've really plateaued. I fluctuate 1 or 2 pounds here or there, but really, I think I've kind of hit my plateau, and this is kind of where I'm just going to be. This is where I'm going to exist for a while. And yeah, so I was totally a picky eater growing up, never wanted to eat anything. I hated just about every possible conceivable thing. I hated all sorts of vegetables. I hated pork of any kind. I don't like any kind of pork whatsoever. Although as an adult, I'm kind of getting away from that a little bit. Pulled pork is amazing. Ham is okay. Pork chops are still the most disgusting creation known to man. I still don't like a lot of vegetables and stuff like that. Summer foods, picture like your typical like summer cookout, like a summer picnic that people would like bring stuff to, like a potluck kind of a thing. Hate everything there. Still do to this day. Just nothing there is good. The only, like, whenever I go to like an event or something like that during the summer where people may be cooking outside, barbecue chicken's fine, hamburgers are fine, hot dogs are fine, but like anything else, macaroni salad, like all that garbage, like, oh, gross. Like the entire summer food plate, it's so terrible. All of it's just so gross to me. But yeah, I'm still pretty picky, but I'm getting better, and as a result, I'm actually up to a healthy weight again, which is pretty nice. The next and final question is going to be coming in from CJ, who's going to write, Dear Nero, what do you think of Black Ops 3 Zombies? I think it's a lot better than older Zombies, but some of my friends disagree. CJ, I have really no concrete opinion on Zombies in Black Ops 3 because I just haven't played it a ton. I just really haven't. I'm like maybe rank 10 in Zombies or something like that. Like, most of my time has been dedicated to multiplayer. I was so excited for Zombies when it was first announced and we were like leading up into Black Ops 3. And then once the game came out and Shadows of Evil was out, it was such a complicated map to try and learn solo that I was overwhelmed by it and was like, well, I just don't even want to bother with it. And to Rise and Draw High, I haven't really played it too much on my PlayStation 4 because I just don't play my PlayStation 4 account very much. I played the DLC when it first came out and it was fun. But pretty quickly I went back to the Xbox because of Double XP and Double Weapon XP. And then ever since then I've been playing just about every night with my friend Cypher. So I just haven't been playing the PlayStation either. So I haven't really experienced Zombies too much here in Black Ops 3. I played it so much back in the day with Black Ops 2. And I think a big part of it was I had a group of people to play with. Like, a lot of people said they hated Transit. And I think the people that hate Transit are the people that had to play it solo. Because to me, Transit with a group of friends is ridiculously fun, which is not really a fair argument. I completely understand that. It's not fair to say, oh, well, it's fun with people, it's fun with friends, because literally anything is fun with friends. But Transit was really enjoyable for me with a group of people. I had a ton of fun with it. It was a blast for me. And even if I wasn't playing with people, like playing Town solo for some reason was fun to me. It was enjoyable. I liked Zombies in that game. But Shadows of Evil in this game in Black Ops 3 was pretty complicated. complicated, and it still is in my opinion. I still don't fully understand the map because I haven't really taken the time to learn the map. And then, of course, Rise and Draw High is not even out yet on the Xbox. I can play it on the PlayStation, but I think I'm going to try to play that with friends when the DLC comes out, because I assume most of my friends are going to get the DLC. They're going to come back and play for a bit, and then we could play Rise and Draw High, maybe then play a little bit of Shadows of Evil and stuff, and try and play some zombies with people, because for me, that's a lot more fun. I don't find either one of those maps to be particularly fun to play solo, because they're like ridiculously complicated in terms of like all things you have to do and all things you have to remember and set up and so on and so forth. When I play zombies solo, and this is evident on my Let's Play channel where I play through custom zombie maps on the PC, I like the maps to be somewhat complicated, but not overly complicated. I just want to like run around, shoot stuff, and explore this map that people have created. And that's kind of what I kind of want to do with Black Ops 3 and with their zombies maps, but it's just the maps are so complicated that you can't just really run around and do that. You really have to understand what's happening in the map. You have to remember a number of steps just to get things going, whereas before it was very simple. Run the Pack-a-Punch, there it is. Now it's like you have to do this whole like ritual thing with all of these different rooms and keys and stuff just to be able to unlock this secret area where Pack-a-Punch is, and just it's a little bit more complicated. Therefore, I think it's a little bit less casual friendly, which to core zombie players, that's a good thing. If you're somebody that plays zombies all the time, it's good to have a complicated zombies and things with lots of steps to them, because it keeps you interested. But for the casual fan, which I guess I'd be a casual zombies fan, it's a bit more complicated and it takes a little bit more time to do things. And so as a result, I don't play it nearly as much. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing more Black Ops 3 zombies in the future, especially once more the DLC comes out. But right now, I just have really no concrete opinion. I wouldn't say it's worse. Like mechanically, there's nothing wrong with Black Ops 3 zombies. There's nothing, by design, there's nothing wrong with it. They didn't change it around. They didn't make it so we're flying around with jetpacks, or they didn't make it so we're somehow invincible. I mean, sometimes you are with Gobblegum, but for the most part, they didn't really change it on zombies too much. It's still zombies to me. It's still fun, but I don't play it nearly as much as I did during Black Ops 2. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this week's episode of Dear Nero. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a rating. It helps the video grow and it helps my channel grow as well. And if you guys would like to submit your questions for the next episode of Dear Nero, simply send me a personal message here on YouTube or tweet me on Twitter at NeroTweets using the hashtag Dear Nero. At the end of the week, I will go through all of your guys' questions. I'll pick the ones I feel are good for the show, and I will feature them, and you may be able to see your name here on screen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this week's episode of Dear Nero. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Please drop me a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.